But most of the voters out there don't think like that.
But that means they don't have the information.
Okay, but 90% of the voters don't have the information. If you're out there busting your tail to make ends meet and to pay your bills, and you're going to work every day, and you got a family to take care of, and you're in New York City, you're getting stuck 2 hours of your day, you're stuck in traffic. You understand? You got a whole bunch of stuff to go through. You don't have time to know what you and I know.
Maybe you need to listen to the news when you're in traffic.
Well, this girl somebody got to do something about Sunny. I don't know. Maybe you need to listen to the news when you're in traffic then.
I'm not talking about those on the right. I'm not talking about those on the left, just independents who said, wait a minute. She didn't experience the primary either. And the last time we saw her in the primary was 4 years ago, and she didn't even make it to Iowa. They used that as an excuse to point to her level of inexperience. Then you got the war in Russia and Ukraine.
Okay, so we know that after Trump has been elected, the leftists are trying to find all kinds of reasons why this shouldn't have happened. Instead of looking at their messaging and the way they've been acting and not paying attention to the fact that people were pretty much, I don't want to keep saying going broke. I don't want that to keep being the thing, but they weren't paying attention to the real issues that people were dealing with. Okay, I heard, I'd go to the market and people be like, oh my God, everything is so expensive. It's so expensive. I don't know. I heard it. They didn't hear it, right? So we're going to do everything else. But what we should do, this is Stephen A. Smith with The View, and actually checking them on a couple things, but he still has to stay on code because he has to get paid, so we can't get too woke. Actually, I'm going to use that word because that's what that word used to mean, woke, as in awaken to the lies of the establishment, right? Maybe we should start claiming our things again, like, I don't know, woke or the rainbow or whatever, but anyway, let's get back to it.
You got the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Hamas and Hezbollah and all of that stuff, and you had Trump using codes. Look, do you want her? Where is she? Where's the interviews? Where's she showing herself? Where's the tough questions? Where's the interrogation? And he leaned on certain things. And you knew people were going to gravitate to that because right now, as divided as our country is, fear comes associated with that. And because that fear was there, he fed off of it.
Yeah.
And people bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
And
that's why he's the president.
And Stephen, let me ask you, because I agree on all counts.
I can hear somebody in the background saying that's fascist. You heard it too. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's the words that's fascist. I could hear. My gosh, these words, none of them, they don't mean anything to me anymore, by the way, just so you know. Racism stopped meaning something to me a long time ago. All of them. Misogynistic, anti-Semitic, fascist, dictator, all of it means nothing. Rolls off my back. It's ridiculous. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos. Let's get back at it.
There's a lot to unpack of what kind of went wrong for Democrats here. I think a factor is the working class feeling left behind, not reaching out to rural Americans. But what do you identify as what Democrats got wrong? And it seems like you agree Biden maybe should have stepped aside sooner.
He definitely should have stepped aside. I said it a year ago. I was on camera. Everybody was getting on me. I said a year ago, he needs to step aside.
You took some heat.
You remember, though, that he said, does everybody remember he originally said he was just going to do it for 4 years?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I brought up.
Right. And did you think that once you know who stepped in, he said, well, there's nobody, we don't have anybody.
Well, the point is that it's not about who you're going up against when you know you're not what you used to be. And see, this is where covering sports puts me at a distinct advantage. I cover people every day where it's time for you to go, but you're holding on and you don't want to leave. People who cover the world of sports are accustomed to seeing that all the time. And so now here you are, to answer your question directly, you are the left. You leaned and you were a prisoner to the extreme left in a lot of people's eyes.
Well, before he gets there, because somebody's going to get mad. You heard that right now. He's hyped, but he's making a point. So these people are like, oh, y'all didn't know Trump was going to run for president again? You better be dumb not to. The minute he lost, I knew he would run again. By the way, he didn't lose. But the minute that happened, I was like, oh, he's going to run again. He just, take a break. The guy was doing rallies before he said he was going to run again. Right? You didn't know? How did you not know? So that's not a good enough reason. And you should always be prepared. And they said they don't have anybody else. What's going on with Democrats if they don't have anybody else ready? Who's going to come next time? Who are they preparing for 2028? Because I would be thinking about 2028 already. And I don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom. I don't.
Guess what? Most of America doesn't operate on the fringes. Whether you're left or you're right, you're relatively centrist. You believe in compromise, negotiation, working with one another. Nobody gets to get everything they want. The problem is those on the fringes continuously push for you to get everything you want.
Yeah.
They're not about getting things done. They're about getting their way. And if they're not going to get their way, they're about complaining and griping about it, because they understand that when you are operating based off of grievance, that's usually what provokes you to get to the polls. And that is why they don't mind feeling aggrieved and displaying and disseminating that kind of message, because they know people are going to gravitate to that. And as a result, that might get them to the polls, you thinking you're going to get what you want as a result of it. And in this particular case, the Republicans were right.
So you think the Republicans are sort of an extreme fringe party?
No, I don't think that they're an extreme fringe party. I think that they're operating against those they believe are extreme on the left. Like, for example, when you talk about the LGBTQ community, I'm a fiscal conservative and I'm a social liberal. I'm fiscal with my dollars. I ain't apologizing for not wanting to pay high taxes to anybody. I'm not apologizing for that, right? But outside of that, I'm pretty liberal. Live and let live, okay? But you had folks on the left that were introducing some things when we got in the whole transgender issue, and they were talking about bathrooms, or they were talking about males transitioning to females and competing against girls in sports and stuff like that. These
That's less than 1% of the population.
I understand that,
But you know what? Add Aaron
ridiculous.
during the NFL.
but see,
It doesn't matter. So she gets so mad, and then they start. It doesn't matter. So then they start. They start with getting so mad about that, right? It's just 1%. So then why did y'all make it such a big deal? Why did I have to keep hearing about it? Oh, because I did. They changed laws. Like in Pennsylvania, they were shopping this bill, and I believe it went through, that if your school, as religious as it may want to be, does not say that if you tell a trans person you can't work here because I have a Christian school and I'm not promoting this lifestyle, they can shut your school down because of that, right? Because it's some sort of hate speech. But remember when the trans people kept going into spas and stuff and trying to get jobs, and then they get lawsuits in New York and everything? Yeah, so, okay. So you made his point. 1% of the population made you guys act retarded.
but I think that's where the mistake is made.
Yeah,
you're saying it's ridiculous. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But most of the voters out there don't think like that.
But that means they don't have the information.
Okay, but 90% of the voters don't have the information. If you're out there busting your tail to make ends meet and to pay your bills, and you're going to work every day, and you got a family to take care of, and you're in New York City, you're getting stuck 2 hours of your day, you're stuck in traffic. You understand? You got a whole bunch of stuff to go through. You don't have time to know what you and I know.
Maybe you need to listen to the news when you're in traffic.
Well, again, I agree with that.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Right? Let me run it back by you again. He's making a good point. She's so angry. She's so sick.
To go through. You don't have time to know what you and I know.
Maybe you need to listen to the news when you're in traffic.
Wow. This girl needs, somebody got to do something about Sunny. I don't know. Maybe you need to listen to the news when you're in traffic then. She's not talking to Stephen A. Smith. She's just looking at Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is the news, okay? This man has like 4 or 5 jobs, okay? Like, this is what he does. So she's not talking, she's talking to me and you. And she's saying, y'all should have just been listening to news while y'all was in traffic then. Damn fools. I mean, she might as well have had in, right? Why not? Why not? You're that mad? I could cover this. My channel, I have to be careful because I literally could cover Sunny every day, all day on the channel now because she is unhinged. Sunny Hostin is unhinged. And she got shut down. She just got shut down. Right? Nobody cares about the show anymore. She's out of this world. Maybe you need to listen to the news while you. How about people can't afford their cars? You know how many engines went in the last 4 years? I seriously believe it's because they added more corn to the gas. Right? Stuff people can't keep up with. It's a lot going on. So maybe they're not even in their car to listen to AM news. They don't connect. They just want to fight you like, oh, I want to beat you up because Trump is president. And you were too busy working 2 jobs and trying to make ends meet. And even though I kept telling you that men should be in females' bathrooms, but I'm mad that you really thought that I was serious for 1% of the poppy. What are you saying? What are you saying? Right? Unhinged. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.